Happy Saturday, everyone, and happy the first of the Saturday of September. This is Coriel Kramer, and this is the Animal Experience. And we are into season 2, and we are up to episode 5. And it's been a wild ride so far, that's for sure. I had a client last night tell me that she found me through one of the videos, the one from last season on pet food, and how much it helped her and how much it gave her information that she needed and took the pressure off her relationship with her animals, and especially around surrounding food. So that's why I do these videos, not to find clients, although that's always a nice thing, I'm not going to lie, but to help people feel better in their relationship with their animals, or feel better in their relationship with animal kind in general. And I was thrilled to hear that, and I'm still thrilled about how well received the podcasts are doing, and the YouTube videos, and the Facebook videos, and how much it's helping you all. It makes me extremely happy to hear that. So today is episode 5. Now, some of you may remember that episode 49 of last season was on grounding. I talked more in that one about what grounding was. I touched a little bit on what it can cause in animals who are what unwanted behaviors it can cause in animals who are ungrounded. But what I wanted to do was, it's such an important topic that I wanted to make sure I came back to it and talked a little bit more in depth about it. So this one is going to be, yes, on grounding, what it is, but then we're going to really go into what can occur when an animal is ungrounded, and then most importantly, some things you can do to help your animals to ground. Okay, so let's get to it. So episode 5 on grounding. So what is grounding? Again, I'm going to touch on this just a little bit. Really simply put, in one sentence, this is how I would define grounding. Grounding is aligning oneself to the Earth's let's try that again. It's aligning oneself to the Earth's magnetic field through walking upon the ground or just being in nature itself. When you are in nature, I'm talking about you now, you're feeling, your mind is calmer, your breathing is calmer, you feel more in tune with the earth, you're happier, you're more centered, and that is grounding. When we are out of our heads and into our hearts, into what's happening around us, as opposed to what's happening to us, as opposed to being in the problem, we are more in the solution, then, my friends, we are grounded. So, do animals do it? And how? Yes. Yep. Yes. 125,000%. Yes. They are very tied to the earth. They maintain an almost constant state of alignment with the earth. Okay? Almost constant. Okay? When we're grounded, we tend to now, what happens is that because they're grounded, the way that you can tell is animals experience things like they're masters at unconditional love and acceptance. Now, when we're ungrounded, and when I say we, I mean humans and animals, when we are ungrounded, we tend to put conditions on things and don't accept life as easily, because we are coming from a place of worry and fear. And when we are coming from a place of worry and fear, we are not grounded. So, all animals' natural states are to be happy, and grounding is one way they achieve this. All right, so how do they do it? Okay, they do it, quite frankly, through their paws. They're constantly laying on the ground. I remember a few years ago, I was living in upstate New York, and I saw this little garter snake. And she taught me, in fact, it's on my website. If you search for grounding or you search for snake, you'll find it. But the beautiful thing that she taught me was I spent like an hour just hanging out with the snake. And what she taught me was she taught me to get down on the ground and lay down on the grass. And I laid down on the grass, and now she told me to just get quiet. I mean, there was more to it than this. We did an hour meditation with the snake, just me and her staring at each other. And but to make a long story short, what eventually started happening was I started to feel the pulsation that was coming from the earth. I had to get really, really quiet, though. This took a while. This was not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It took a while. So what happened with that was that I got into a state of understanding that the grounding was something that I needed to do. And then I got into this meditative state. And when I got into this meditative state, I was able to feel the pulsation with the earth. And then the trippy thing was that my heart started pulsating with the pulsation from the earth. And it was really beautiful experience. But I had to get very quiet. So animals' natural states are their paws. They're always on the ground. Well, not always, but a lot of the times their paws are on the ground. They're lying on the ground. Their heart's chakras, all their chakras are pointed towards the earth. So that's how they do it. That's their natural state. Their natural state is connecting through the earth, through their body. Okay, it's not always a conscious thing. They don't go out and say, I'm going to go out and ground, kind of like what we do. It's more of a natural, non-forced state because they're always experiencing life without any separation from them in the world, if that makes sense. So what happens is that they are constantly feeling the pulsation of the earth. Constantly. Now, does that mean that animals get ungrounded? Yes. Animals can lose their groundedness, is what I call it, even though I don't know if that technically is a word, but I'm going to take it anyway. I don't care. So they can lose their groundedness, and when they do, they begin to exhibit behaviors that are uncharacteristic of them or out of characteristic of who they are or unwanted. So what can happen? Where can this happen? When can this happen? When do you have to start looking into this kind of situation for your animal? A lot of the times, an animal will get ungrounded when they're traveling. Now, what happens, not all animals, a lot of animals can stay grounded throughout the transportation process, whether they're flying or whether they're traveling by boat or whether they're traveling by car, it doesn't matter. But some animals lose their connection to the earth. Kind of like, I would put it to akin of like human beings when we're either working a lot in a high rise, or we're living too much in a high rise, or we're living in a big city and we feel disconnected from nature. It's kind of like the same thing. You just lose your connection and you become more in the problem and less in the solution. When you are traveling and leaving them at home, why? Because you're their source of everything. And some animals can handle that. Some animals can handle that and some animals can't. They can't handle that disconnection between you, from you. So you ground them to a certain extent. You are part of their world. They are grounded to the world. You are part of their world. When you are gone, ergo, it throws them off. So that can be one. Then there could be when there's something new added to a routine or environment, such as a new baby, a new animal, or they're coming from a new home. They're the ones coming into the new situation. So that could be something that can throw them off totally, and they can have some kind of unwanted behavior. The unwanted behavior, and I'll go more into this after I go into this list, can be a wide range of situations and a wide range of behaviors. So I'll go into that in a second. During times of stress, minor or major, does not matter, such as going to the vet, thunderstorms, the big one, the 4th of July, Animals who live in high rises, animals who have lost their owners, or their owners were sick, really badly sick. They got over it, but still it left them in this state of emotional hiatus. Animals who've been through trauma, minor or major, does not matter, because any kind of trauma, any kind of abuse, anything, no matter how small, anything like that is still abuse. And it can cause them to get stuck in that trauma in their head, reliving it over and over again. Like a soldier going through PTSD. It could be the same exact thing. Reliving it over and over and over again. Okay? They become lost, simply put. Anytime your animal seems stuck in bad pattern ways, they're in an ungrounded state. They are not grounded to the earth. They're in the problem. They're not in the solution. So animals who live in high rises, okay, are one of the big things. Whys are, and the way they can act is they can get aggressive. They can start peeing when they were totally and completely fine. They could start becoming aggressive towards you or to the other animals or the other people in the house. They can become melancholy. They can hide under the bed. Now, if they're hiding, though, what you should be aware of is many times when an animal is not feeling good, whether that is emotionally, and they're not feeling good emotionally, of course. So, there you go. But if they're not feeling good, what could happen is that they are hiding. So what you might want to do is you might want to look into this with your vet and to make sure that everything's okay physically with your animal. If they're hiding, if they're scared, they're over scared. If they're over obsessive licking, over obsessive pacing, if they're over obsessive eating, anything that's to the extreme is usually coinciding with an animal who is in some way, shape, or form ungrounded. Okay? So what are some things that you can do real quick? Okay, here's some things that you can do. Number one is, and I touched on this in episode 49, but it's take your animal outside. When I talk to my human clients and I find out that they're very in their head and they're worried and their stuff and their stuff filled with fear and anxiety and depression and all this other kind of stuff, I tell them first and foremost, I want you to go outside, find a nice patch of grass, preferably with no poop on it. Take your shoes off, walk around in a circle for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Now, that's not a lot of time, but I'll tell you one thing. By the end of that 5 minutes, your brain is going to be aligning to the pulsation of the earth, and the magnetic field is going to be aligned throughout your body. You're going to feel more calmer. Your breathing is going to chill out. Your mind is going to get quieter, and you're going to be less in fear mode and more in receptive mode. Animals are extremely in receptive mode. Acceptive and receptive mode, okay? So take your animal outside, okay? The more the merrier. Take them all outside. Take the whole family with the animal outside. Let everybody run around in the grass, okay? Then find a nice patch of grass, take your shoes off, relax, chill out. In about 5 minutes, you start to feel the results. And so with your animal, notice your animal, because animals don't try to put up facades like people do. We try to act like we're everything's cool when everything's not cool. Your animal doesn't have that facade. Your animal is just like, they feel good or they don't. So they are wonderful examples of how well this is working. Start to notice how calmer they get, how relaxed they get, and then you can see that in yourself. You can feel that in yourself. Okay? When animals travel, what I tell people is that many of them immediately become disconnected to the earth, like I said before. Okay? So what I tell them to do is, when I do a session with an animal who has travel issues, I give them a little meditation. You can certainly do this yourself. And the meditation goes, quite frankly, you tell your animal to envision roots coming out of the soles of their feet or the soles of their paws, going deep into Mother Earth. You do this before the car even starts. And then what it is that this also tethers them to the house where they feel safe and secure. And then I tell them that as the car is rolling, the roots just keep on unfolding. No big deal. It's endless. This energy, root energy that's coming out of your paws is totally and completely endless. There's no end to it. It can wrap around the world 1,000,000 times and still have more times to go, and can wrap around 1,000,000 more. So I tell them that this tethers them to the ground. No matter where this car is going, wherever this vehicle, no matter if it's in the air or on the ground or in the water, no matter what, it can always, always, always tether you to the Earth's magnetic field. This helps them greatly because they feel like they don't know. It's kind of like for an animal emotionally, it's kind of like an animal or you being on roller skates on an ice rink. It's not pretty. It's all over the place. There's no support. They feel unsupported. And when you give them that support, it's wonderful. This also works on people too, if you need that. You can also do this for the animals that live in the high-rise buildings, and because they become very ungrounded, especially living in a big city. And yes, I know that there are parks in a big city, but still, that whole energy, that the cement that's totally and completely covering the earth there. It's not that there's anything bad with cities. I'm not knocking cities, but I grew up in one. But what I'm saying is that you need to be able to have that real nature. That's not real nature, okay? So what are other things you can do? Flower essences. I'm huge on flower essences. They are so simple to give. And if you need to, you can put them on your finger and rub them on the inside of the ear. I also did the episode on flower essences, which give you a lot more information on them, so you should watch that episode from last season. So flower essences that ground: rock water, mimulus, scleranthus. I will spell that CSCLE. And rock rose. Now, rock water is for flexibility. Mimulus is for specific fears. Scleranthus is for mental, physical, emotional stability. And rock rose is for panic. You can either give one or give them all. Okay, I would probably start, if you know that your animal is going to be traveling and they have a problem, I would give it at least 2 weeks before you go. At least, because you want it in their system by the time they get in. Aromatherapy oils that ground. Vetiver, I think it's called Vetiver. Vetiver. Sandalwood, cedarwood, rosewood, lavender, frankincense, myrrh. Now, I would never put it directly on the animal. That's just me. Okay, I think that they have a really super sensitive smell system, and I can't imagine having any essential oils on me when I have, the smell that's 40 times or 50 times stronger than a human being, and I can barely stand them. So I would either put it on the outside of their carrier. I would put it maybe on the bottom of their carrier. I would put it either on the, put a dot of it, like a little drop of it on the dashboard where it gets nice and warm by the sun as you travel, and then it can permeate the entire car. They also make portable diffusers. So, you can plug your diffuser in and do it that way if you need to. T-Touch. T-Touch was developed years ago by a woman by the name of Linda Tellington Jones. And she specifically did it on horses, but she found out after a while that it could be done, that all animals are very receptive to it. So cats, dogs, birds, whatever, everybody can do T-Touch. The one I'm specifically talking about is called Ear Touch. And what I'll do is I'll post the T-Touch card. I have T-Touch cards. I'll post that to this post to this video at the end. But essentially what it is that you take the animal's ear, you take your index finger and you put it around the base of your animal's ear, and then you take your thumb and you rub it gently from the base all the way to the tip and out. Again, put your index finger by the base of the tip, take the thumb, put it by the base, by the base of the ear, and then take your thumb and put it by the base of the ear underneath the index finger and gently rub it out until it gets to the tip and out. You do not have to do this more than 3 times. You will start to see after a few seconds the ear gets warm. When an animal's ear is cold, it means that they are losing their circulation. Their circulation is bad. Or it could also mean that all the blood to the body is going to the stomach and they're about to vomit. So you might want to do this in order to calm down the nervous system and also calm down the circulatory system. This gives them a sense of calm. It gives them a sense of peace. It gives them a sense of well-being. And it's just in a matter of seconds. I do this for my cats quite often. They're very used to it. Whenever their ears are cold, I know that their circulation is not right. So what I do is I just give them once or twice at the most. I don't want them to get overheated. But it's a great way to calm them down. There are hundreds of other ways that you can do it. I did an episode on music. Animals are very receptive to music. Play nice, relaxing music as you travel. Listen, let the animals listen to that. I have also, you want the environment that the animals are in to be as stress-free as possible. That includes you. You want the traveling to be nice and stress-free as possible. So if you stay cool, many times, not always, but many times they'll still stay cool because animals are vibrational. Remember this, people. Animals are vibrational, okay? They will understand and buy into your vibration. So if you're freaking out, they're freaking out. Or it's stressing and ramping them up. So grounding is an easy and effective way to help your animal avoid a lot of detours on their stream of well-being. Okay, it's just a more direct route to the stream of well-being that's flowing to each and every one of us all the time. And I talked about the stream of well-being in the episode on LOA, or Law of Attraction. These are all easy techniques that you can do that can help empower you to assist your animals when they need you the most, when they are ungrounded. That is their most unnatural state of being. So I hope this helped you all. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You voted for it, and I'm going to take the episodes that were, because it was close. There was like 2 others that were very close to this one in votes. So I'm going to take those for the next couple of months episodes, and that's going to take us into November. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank again everybody who supports the animal experience through the podcast, through the videos, through just letting me know that it's helped you by sending me emails. That's the most rewarding thing I could ever ask for, and I'm so glad that it's helped you and your animals. And until next month, I wish you and your fur kids a wealth of wonderful experiences together.